Be free.
What is up, everybody? How we doing? Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the stream today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today's topic, of course, as you've seen by the title, we're going to be talking about the new guidelines that's been released by the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control, basically kind of judging how cruise ships are to handle sick passengers from this point going forward. What are they supposed to do if they have an unfortunate, another outbreak on board, whether it be with passengers or crew. They released some new guidelines, some new rules to follow for them, and it makes things a little bit interesting for you and I, especially as passengers, as to like how things will be handled. You guys know, recently, I wouldn't say that it has been a good news story or a good PR situation for them. When they've had outbreaks on board the cruise ships, it's oftentimes, the ships have been stuck out at sea. They've not been able to come into port. A lot of the countries have said, hey, no, we don't even want you to come here. So then you have the issue of them running low on supplies and running low on medical personnel and things like that. So it's made for a very tough situation for them. But with these new guidelines that have been released, I think it's going to make it a little bit easier. So I want to get into that with you. Welcome to everybody that's watching live with us. I will get to your questions here in just a second. So if you have any questions about that, we'll do a little chat here at the end. I just want to, for the people that are just here for the news, we'll get to the news first. Okay, so I want to read it here for you. My friends over at CruiSe Radio broke the news. That's at least where I saw it from. They broke it about last night, I think it was. But it says here that the CDC has released new cruise ship guidelines. Under the new guidelines from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, cruise lines will face new challenges when it comes to getting passengers home following sailings impacted. So basically what the CDC has done is they've kind of pushed this onto the cruise lines. It's now going to be the cruise lines' responsibility to make sure that passengers get home without coming into contact with anybody else, because what they don't want is the ships just docking in their home port and kind of releasing the passengers, and then the passengers go on their merry way to the airport or to the train station or the bus terminals or wherever, and the whole time they're just infecting more people. That's what the CDC wants to avoid. That's what's happened with a lot of the cases where it's broken out on board cruise ships, and that's how it's spread a lot worse. So they're trying to limit that. So under the new guidelines or recommendations, if you will, this is not a law that they've enforced, but it's guidelines and recommendations. Passengers with no or mild symptoms should be disembarked as quickly and safely as possible at United States ports of entry. So basically, if they don't show signs, they don't show symptoms, or maybe they do show signs and symptoms, but they're very mild, they want to get them off the ship. They don't want to keep them on board the ship. They want to get them off, get them into the U.S., get them to a hospital or a medical facility where they can properly be treated for it, instead of just staying on board. I think it's been proven now with things that happened on, the Holland America cruise ships, even the Princess cruise ships. Keeping them on board is not necessarily the most effective thing. Sure, it keeps it contained to that cruise ship, but then ultimately they just spread it to everybody on the cruise ship, and the cases just rise up, and people start dying even more. So I think they're looking to get them off the cruise ship, get them into a medical professional facility where they can hopefully be treated a little bit better than what they can do on board. Sure, they have medical facilities on board, but they're not quite equipped to handle something like this. So in addition to that, once off, cruise lines are responsible for getting travelers, including those who are not ill or showing symptoms, directly to their home via charter or private transportation. And that is in quotation, so that's a direct quote from the CDC there. So it puts a little bit more of the responsibility, like I said, onto the cruise lines. They have to make sure that they get these people home. They can't just release them back out into general population so they can go and infect more people, right? And basically what that statement means is that no commercial flights or form of public transportation can be used. So they cannot send them to Miami International and say, have a nice day, thank you for choosing Carnival Cruise Lines. You know, they can't, or Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, or whatever cruise line you want. They cannot do that. Now, sure, this does put a little bit of a financial burden onto the cruise lines, you know. It makes it so that, oh, I see you guys are saying I'm quiet, so I'll bump up my volume a little bit. How is that? Is that a little bit better now? I hope it is. Sure, it puts a little bit, you know, more emphasis on the cruise lines taking care of passengers. But I think that's probably right. That's how it needs to be, you know. I mean, if the unfortunate situation has happened where you have an outbreak on board the ship and you're stuck between just releasing them into general population, into, you know, like I said, going to the airport or whatever, or you specifically charter a flight, make sure that they have as least possible, you know, other human contact. I mean, that's what we're all doing right now, you know? Like, we're all being asked to stay home. You don't go to the grocery store unless you need to. You don't go out to parties or social gatherings or events like that. Well, it would make sense to kind of put the same guidelines in for cruise ships and cruise passengers and everything. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that that's a right decision? Do you think it's right for them to put that onto the cruise lines? I mean, it's not the cruise line's fault, but it's also not the passenger's fault either, necessarily, you know? So I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. That is just the guidelines that have come out, like I said, as of about last night, the news broke. So what does that mean for you, a cruise passenger going on board, you know, a cruise ship, hopefully in the coming months, you know, a couple months? What does that mean for you? Well, it means that should you find yourself in the unfortunate situation like what's happened on the Grand Princess or the Zaandam or the Rotterdam, or the Coral Princess, or we could keep going and naming them, but you get the point. Should you find yourself in a situation like that, it sounds like you're not going to necessarily be faced, hopefully, with another, you know, situation where you're stuck out at sea, they're not going to let you home, etc. You know, it seems like the CDC, the federal government, everybody looks at that as it's a bad situation. Everybody does. I look at that as that's a bad situation. When you have American citizens on a foreign cruise ship, foreign registered cruise ship, not able to come back into America. That's a bad situation. So it's good that I think that they are mitigating that and trying to find ways around that. But, you know, ultimately it is going to put a little bit more pressure on the cruise lines. So let me know what you guys think about that. That is the little cruise news for today. Other than that, I just want to hang out with you guys and chat with you for a few minutes. So we'll come over and answer some questions, see how are you doing. Vicky, that's a good point. She says cruise lines can include those expenses in their insurance claims. They can include those expenses in their insurance claims. That's a very good point. So that may actually help them in the long run. K-Sibs says, this is horrific. There is no way they can charter flights from all the cities people fly from to go to cruises. I know, I can't imagine. But the thing is, this is a, I think they're putting this out there as a last case scenario. So it's the plan, but they hope they never have to use the plan, if that makes any sense. So in theory, after all this is said and done, people, you know, we go in whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Hopefully it's not 6, but if we, you know, whatever it is, we go back to cruising, go back to cruise ships. The hope would be that there is, you know, stricter screening processes at the terminal, similar to what they kind of put in place. I don't know if that will include checking your temperature and everything, but it might have to until we get a vaccine out for this thing. But there'd be stricter screening processes in place, and you wouldn't have another outbreak on board of a cruise ship or anything like that. But this is kind of like I said, they're planning for the worst case, hoping for the best case. So that's what that is. Also for the crew though, so a lot of the cruise lines, almost all of them that I've read, have had to also charter flights for their crew that are currently on board the ships, because now, as you guys know, most cruise lines not resuming regular operations until at least the middle of May. I don't think there's any cruise line before the middle of, maybe Disney. I think Disney actually may still be the 1st of May, but I think they may extend that out a little bit. No cruise line is starting back up pretty much before the middle of May. So they're not going to keep their crew on board for the next month. So they're actually sending a lot of their crew home as well. And you'll see that the cruise ships are rotating in and out of ports now and kind of dropping off their crew and dropping down to a bare necessity crew. So what that would be like the engineers, the captain, just enough hotel stewards and not bartenders, but waiters, dining room personnel to keep the ship running. I don't know what that exact number is, but if I had to guess, I would say it's probably less. I would say it's probably about 100 people or less. I would guess. You definitely don't need all your housekeeping stewards. You just need, like I said, the ones to make sure that the rooms are clean that are being used by the crew, and everybody else can go home. The entertainment team can go home. The casino team, you don't need them; they can go home. So yeah, they're having to charter flights for all of those individuals as well. We've got 2 super chats over here. Thank you so much, Tate Maybe. Tate Maybe says, will you ever go on a Disney cruise? Tate, I'd love to. I'd love to go on a Disney cruise. I sure would. It is definitely on my list at some point. No timeline for when that will be, but yes, I definitely would love to go on a Disney cruise, just check it out and see what it's all about here. So yeah, that's that. So I think that it makes it kind of eases passengers' mind, I would think. Does that ease your guys' mind a little bit to know that there's kind of new procedures for how it's handled? Because the old procedure, I think we all can admit, was kind of scary. Like I said, like you have American citizens trapped on a foreign cruise ship, not able to get back into an American port. That's a scary situation to be in, and I think it would turn a lot of people off from cruising. It would make people think twice about cruising. So I know it definitely eases my mind a little bit. Obviously, like I said, you don't want that to happen. You never want to get to that point. But if you do find yourself in the unfortunate situation where you are at that point, at least they've got a plan in place for it. All right, let's answer some questions with that. Hey, Mama Kay, how are you today? Nikki Fiducioso? Sorry if I said your last name wrong. She says, I have a feeling that cruising as we know it is over. I hope not. I hope not. I don't think that it is over. I think that some things that we have done will be changed a little bit, like the embarkation process. All of the cruise lines were really, especially in recent years, they were pushing for faster embarkation. Royal Caribbean has put it out there many times that their goal was to make the embarkation process as quick as going through the McDonald's drive-through line, right? So they wanted it to be like 10 minutes or less. I think that would change. I think that there will be some enhanced screening measures at embarkation, especially until we get a vaccine for this thing. I can definitely see, them doing the temperature readings and all that kind of stuff, and then doing secondary screenings beyond that. So I definitely see some of that stuff changing, but I don't think cruising as we know it is over. I think that once we get everything under control, the islands get things under control. You guys know my favorite island, St. Martin. They're actually experiencing a very, very bad outbreak right now. Things have gotten really bad down there in St. Martin, and so I think they just went on lockdown either yesterday or today. Very similar to what many states here in the U.S. are doing. So, I mean, you have to also remember that just because the U.S. may be getting back into things, and we may, in a month, 2 months from now, we may be good, is the ports and the destinations that the cruise ships are going to be visiting, are they going to be okay? Are they going to be ready to accept new passengers? So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. Hello, Freddie Bassett. How are you today? We've got Josh Smith in the house. Hey, bud. EJ says, hello from my cruise couch. Not really the same experience. I feel you. You know what? I've got my anchor pillow right here. I've got my anchor pillow, and every day it reminds me that the ocean is still air. The ocean is still there. Outside is still there. You guys know the other day I took you on a walk with me. Outside is still there, so I'd encourage you. It's a nice day here today in North Carolina, so I'd encourage you to get outside if you can. The only thing with me is allergies. Gosh, I have been fighting allergies all weekend. I think that's what it is. My just, you can feel like the pressure right here under your eyes and stuff. I had a little headache this morning, but it is what it is. Tate, another super chat. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. A $2 super chat. He says, favorite Carnival ship. Favorite Carnival ship, probably the Carnival Breeze or the Carnival Horizon. Both are really, really great ships. I love them both. Judy Cole, very good point. She says, if you don't have any symptoms, a temperature screening won't help. Yeah, and I think that's the tricky thing about this thing, is you can have this virus in you for 14 days and have no symptoms. No symptoms at all, which is kind of crazy, and that's why everybody's really got to be careful. You have to assume that everybody has it. Everybody that you come into contact has it, right? You have to just assume that that's the case, because they very well could and not know it themselves, It's not like you feel a little sluggish, like when you get the flu or something, you typically start to feel sluggish and, you just feel blah. Not the case with CV-19, unfortunately. Nikki says, oh, that's sad to hear. Yes, you're right. Probably will be some time, but we will all stay optimistic. Yeah, for sure. You have to stay optimistic, because you'll drive yourself insane otherwise, Vicky says, pouring rain here in Los Angeles. I'm sorry about that. I hate that for you. It's sunny outside today, so I think I may go for a run, go for a walk later. I don't know. Hope says, allergy season is going to be really bad this season. Well, what sucks with it is that with everything going on with this thing, then you have allergy season, So on top of not knowing, not wanting to cough in public, and not wanting to show symptoms of maybe you're sick. Then allergy season, pollen is everywhere, and so you're constantly sneezing, you're constantly coughing, and so you never know. You're like, you cough one time, you're like, oh, I have it. So it is what it is, though. I mean, you just have to I've been taking vitamin C. I've been drinking lots of juices, fruit juices, just boosting my immune any way that I can. Miss K says, doing good, Josh. Tired of sitting home. Good thing is I have lost 4 pounds. Good for you. Good for you. I am proud of you. I've actually lost weight too. I have. I've lost. I've been trimming up because I have more time to work out now. So I've been doing lots of home workouts, lots of exercising, going for runs, going for walks, doing some workouts here in my living room and such. So I've lost a little bit of weight too. It's been good for me, I have to say. Tate, wow, another super chat from Tate. Thank you so much, Tate. He says, I heard they are retiring the fantasy class. I have not heard that. I've heard that rumor for many years. They've been talking like they're going to retire the fantasy class, but I haven't heard a confirmed that they are definitely retiring the fantasy class. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they are getting quite up there, but a lot of folks I know still find the fantasy class of Carnival cruise ships to be their favorites. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just like a lot of people find, what is it? Empress, I think. Empress of the Seas. For Royal Caribbean, a lot of people find that cruise ship to be their favorite. It's a small cruise ship. It's a very small cruise ship. A lot of people find it to be their favorite. So, yeah. Ethan says, do you think there will be cruises in July? Ethan, I'm hoping. I am hoping, because I moved my group cruise to July. We moved it to the end of July to give it the best possible, case scenario. But I'm hopeful that it will be in July, yes. I can't say the islands, which makes it very hard when I'm hosting a group. I am hopeful that the islands are going to be open and ready to accept cruise passengers. At this point, I'm saying yes. I'm saying by July, I'm hopeful that things are going to be back up and running. If we get to the middle of June and we're in the same scenario that we're currently in, then I would probably rethink my answer. But I've been paying close attention to what the CDC has been saying, what the federal government's been saying, and what our local government has been saying. And they're saying that this week is going to be bad. They're saying that next week is probably going to be bad in terms of, unfortunately, death rates, right? The death rates are going to rise, but that is because, like we mentioned, with this thing, you can have it 14 days. So 2 weeks ago, that would have been in March. You could have caught this horrible virus and not know it. And so now those people are unfortunately, they're going to start dying. So this week should be bad for deaths. Next week is probably going to be bad for deaths. But then they're projecting, if everybody continues to practice the social distancing and everything like they've been talking to us about, they're hoping that things will start going on the downward spiral. I am just concerned. I don't want us to jump back into things too quickly. I'm all for going back to work. I am all for getting the economy boosted and everything's back up and running like they are. But what we don't want to do, I think, is jump back into things too early and kind of spin right back into where we're at right now. We have got to get this thing under control before we move back into a normal kind of life. Tracy says, drink hot water with turmeric, ginger, lemon, and honey. Great natural immune builder. Fantastic. I didn't know that. I know about the lemon and honey. I didn't know turmeric. Is that how you say it? Turmeric? And ginger. I've heard ginger is, but I didn't know about turmeric. What is turmeric? That's like a spice, right? Or a root. Huh. That's interesting. Diane and Edward says, hi all. Greetings from the Netherlands, Europe. Hello. Good to have you today. How are the Netherlands doing? Are you guys okay over there? I hope you are. Daniel says, we have our cruise October 25th. I'm hoping October is going to be good because I also have the Carnival Panorama in October myself. So I hope that October will be good and we'll be okay with that one. Rob, this is a good question. Rob says, what are your thoughts on cruises going out of New York in June? I am on the Sunrise on the 24th. Rob, I don't think so, buddy. I would be shocked. If New York saw cruise ships. Honestly, I would be shocked if New York saw cruise ships before like August or even September, because New York is just so bad right now. They're so bad, I don't know. You guys chime in. What do you think? Do you think New York will be seeing cruise ships this summer? I think it would be. I would be surprised if New York saw cruise ships. They would really have to start dropping, greatly in their numbers in order to see cruise ships for the summer season. So we'll see. But I foresee the cruise lines probably moving those cruises. It's the tricky thing though, because they've already lined up the itineraries. Like for your case on the Sunrise, they've already got the ship going there. They've already lined up the itineraries. They've got people booked. They've got the islands, they're scheduled to call on these islands, so they've got the port fees already, spoken for. So it also puts the cruise lines in a very tough position, I would imagine. But yeah, we'll see. Daniel says, these new standards are only temporary until CV-19 is past us. This is to effectively shut the industry down until this is over. No ship should be sailing with passengers right now. I agree, and I believe we are at zero. Finally. I think the Coral Princess was the last one to come in with passengers. I believe that all cruise lines are at a zero count right now for passengers, which is good. It's good. I can't believe it took this long, but it's good. The Coral Princess came in, what was it, Saturday into Miami, which was also cool to see. I don't know if you guys caught that on the Port Miami webcam, but it was really cool to see that because Princess does not dock in Miami. They dock in Port Everglades. So it was really cool to see a princess ship coming into Miami. It was a neat sight to see. Nathan says, I have a cruise on July 4th. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens July 4th. I'm hopeful that by July 4th we can all be back up and running. Maybe that'll be the holiday to shoot for. You know, Easter is definitely, we're going to have to be practicing social distancing for Easter. I think Memorial Day, we could be still practicing social distancing. Let's hope maybe July 4th we'll all be able to get together as families again. There's Mama Christine. Hello, love. How are you? Melissa B says, Josh, do you know anything about non-refundable deposits if your cruise gets canceled? Will they give it back to you? Haven't paid anything else on it yet. So, yeah, if the cruise line cancels, you should get that back. To my understanding, they're refunding. It's like 100% future cruise credit, or they're refunding. Because, I mean, at that point, it's not your fault. You know, if you choose to cancel, then you would probably be susceptible to the refund policy. And that's why I've been telling people, do not cancel. Do not cancel your cruise. Let the cruise lines cancel for you. Because if you cancel it, then, you know, you may be subject to some cancellation fees. But if they cancel it, you're probably going to get your money back. So I would just say, wait, let them do whatever. You know, if they deem it is safe, then, you know, I'm sure that one cruise line is not going to sail if the others aren't. If that makes any sense, because then it would look bad on that one cruise line. So, yeah, I would just wait and let them make that call for you. Tate, another super chat. Thank you so much. He says, what was your first cruise? Mine was the Holiday. Wow, the Carnival Holiday. That was a long time ago, my friend. My first cruise, it was the Carnival Victory. Funny enough, she is actually supposed to be getting transformed into the Carnival Radiance right now, but obviously this has put a little damper on things for that. So she's not expected to sail again now until November. But yeah, my first cruise was Carnival Victory in 2005. Laura says, people need to stop touching their face, cover their cough and sneezes, and practice social distancing, and we can beat this. Okay, yes. And this is a very good point. I want to talk to y'all in a second, okay? We talked the other day about the fridge. I have something else to chat with you guys about. Listen, family. Going to the grocery store does not require the entire family to go. Okay? All right? It is not a family outing. It is not a family field trip. Okay? I get it. If you're a single parent, you don't have a sitter, you don't have a babysitter, you have no option. You know, you have to take the kids along. I understand. You know, it's not the best case scenario, but I understand. But when I see mommy and daddy and then the 3 kids at the grocery store, why? But you don't need those people at the leave the kiddos at home, y'all. One parent can go to the grocery store, and I mean, am I right on that? Am I wrong on saying that, guys? I mean, it's your life, you do you, but the whole point of this thing is to limit social interaction, not bring your whole family on a field trip to the Walmart, okay? Leave the family at home, please. It will do everybody a huge, huge favor. And you know, do you really want to see your little baby get that virus? I would keep my kids at home. I wouldn't want them out in public around this thing. You know, keep your kiddos at home. It's better for them. It's better for everybody else. Now is not the time to take a family trip to Walmart. Okay, all right, family. We're not mad at you. We're not mad at you. We're just tired of being inside. We don't want to extend it for 2 more months. Okay. Robert Morris says, have you cruised out of Charleston, South Carolina? I have not seen any vids of you cruising from there. Your home is not that far from there. Robert, yes I have. Yes I have, and I do have videos for it. It is the Carnival Ecstasy. Carnival Ecstasy cruise vlogs. Head on over to my channel. Click on the playlist tab. I went on it with Mama Hokum. It was a great time. I really did enjoy the port of Charleston. It was a nice port. Very simple. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, I see you guys are agreeing with me. It is not a field trip. I know, guys, what's wrong with you? I saw something else that was quite disturbing. Yesterday, I had to make a trip to the grocery store. I donned my face mask for those of you questioning and wondering whether I was properly protected. And they've actually limited the number of people in the store to like 10 people now, which I was very thankful for. You know, it made for a less chaotic shopping experience. I felt very safe. There was people wiping down everything. It was very nice. I've taken it to an extreme measure, and so then when I get home, I then wipe down everything with a Lysol wipe and a little bleach water solution if I can, you know, if it's not going to kill me. Like, I wouldn't do that with my fresh fruits and veggies, but, you know, like the cardboard boxes or anything, just doing, you know, anything that I can to kind of curb this thing. But in the parking lot, there were 3 cars pulled beside each other, windows rolled down, blasting music. They were having a day party, a darty, in the parking lot of Walmart. And I just thought to myself, I said, what have we come to? You people have gone insane. You people have gone insane. You've gone you're having a day party on a Sunday in the middle of Walmart's parking lot in your car with the windows rolled down. That is where we're at, folks. That is where the United States of America is at right now. So if you live in another country and you're wondering, how are we doing over here? We're not doing good. We are not doing good. This whole social distancing thing is really getting to some people. Yeah, they are. I mean, they were going, like, the cars were, like, bouncing and everything. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Y'all are not serious. You people have lost your mind. You've lost your mind. It was great. It was a sight. It was a sight. I should have gotten a video so I could have showed you guys, but then YouTube would have flagged the video for copyright music, so I guess that wouldn't have helped anyway. Take another super chat. Thank you so much. I like your consistency. I love your consistency with the $2 super chat. He says, "Is Bahama Paradise Cruise Line bad?" I have never been. I hear that it is not as bad as one would think. It is a little bit more of like a nickel-dime cruise line, to my understanding. You know, you very much do get what you pay for. But no, I think if you're looking for just a short Bahamas getaway, you don't want anything fancy, you don't want anything special, yeah, I would say go for it. Give it a shot. I would like to give it a shot one day. Melissa B says, "You're absolutely right. Drives me nuts. People also need to be nicer. My teenage daughter works at grocery stores, and she has come home crying a few times because people are mean, no patience at all." That is so awful. I hate that for you. I'm sorry, Melissa. Yeah, guys, it's, you know, just like we give a big round of applause to our healthcare professionals and medical workers. I mean, think of all the other people that have to work. Grocery store workers, obviously, still have to work, and they are not any more happy about this than you or I are. So, yeah, let's just show each other a dollop of patience and care. We'll get through this together. Daniel says, "Wife and I were thinking about Sunshine out of Charleston next year. Better to drive down morning of from NC or stay overnight. Would be driving from Raleigh." I mean, it's like a 5-hour drive, I would think, from Raleigh, 5 or 6 hours. So if you're comfortable doing that in the morning, hey, go for it. We went down and stayed the night and actually had a great time. I would say do drive down the night before, personally, because Charleston's got some great restaurant. We ate at Magnolia's. It was fantastic food. You know, of course, you have the waterfront there. It was nice and beautiful. We had a great evening. So I would say if you have, you know, the extra money for a hotel budgeted, drive down the night before. Do it. Spend the night. Enjoy the nightlife there. That way you can wake up refreshed in the morning. You don't have to leave at 4 or 5 a.m. and you can enjoy the day there. Robert Morris, great question. He said, "Did MSC pay you to cruise with them? Haven't heard many negatives about MSC." No. No cruise line has ever paid me to cruise with them. No cruise line has ever said, "Hey, Josh, we will cover your cruise fare if you come and leave us a nice review." No, that's not how it works. What the cruise lines do is they typically will throw in some extras for us, content creators, like they'll throw in Wi-Fi, so we're able to share the experience with you guys live. You know, they'll put in strawberries and stuff to the room. It's just compliments from the hotel director to say, "Hey, thanks for coming on board," or "Thanks for choosing our cruise line." But no, they don't pay for our cruise. No. That is a common misconception with cruise vloggers and you know, social influencers and things. No, we do not get cruises for free. We pay for our cruise just like everybody else, unfortunately. I mean, it would be nice, but I would make the stipulation I would never do a cruise and leave a false review, right? Because I think a reputation is a whole lot more important than content, right? Like, I'd rather have no content and a solid reputation than content and a shady reputation. So I would, like, even the brands that reach out and want me to do like a review on their brand, I always write to them and I always say, I mean, I say it a little bit nicer than this, but I say, look, if your product sucks, I'm gonna tell everybody that it sucks. I'm not gonna review your product and say, oh, this is a great watch, it's so nice, and it really be like a cheap, sucky knockoff piece of junk. So yeah, that's just me. I know other people are different, but that's just how I am. I don't, like I said, I would, integrity is more important than content. So. Tate says, what is the worst Carnival ship? With another $2 super chat. Dude, you are consistent. I appreciate your support today. What is the worst Carnival cruise ship that I've been on? I think I answered this the other day. None of them have been bad. None of them I have left and been like, wow, I would never sail on that again. But probably the Conquest, if I had to pick one, just because nothing really like stood out. Nothing was super special about it, you know? Like, it was a great ship, don't get me wrong. It was a great ship. We had a great cruise, great crew, great cruise director. I think we had Chloe Lodos. I mean, it was great. It was a great trip. But there was nothing special about it, you know? Like, they didn't have a venue that was exclusive to the Carnival Conquest. Nathan says, I have some really snobby friends, and they are not doing the right thing. It's really getting to me, and I really wish they would stop. Yeah, guys, until we all do our part and help stop the spread of this virus, we're going to be in the same boat. You know, if you know somebody that's still going out to parties, going to picnics, going to social gatherings, they have to stop. You know, unless those people, everybody that's meeting together, has had a 14-day quarantine where they have not interacted with anybody else socially, they should not be meeting up and meeting together. This is my opinion there. Debbie says, what about Carnival at the end of May? What about Carnival at the end of May? It's possible. I hope that by the end of May we're in a position where we can start back up on cruising, but we'll see. Tate says, thoughts on Sea Cruises channel? Probably my thoughts are about what your thoughts are. I'm not gonna beat down another channel on YouTube. You know, you do you. I personally don't watch them. Having known the information that I know, I just don't support that kind of content. But to each their own. If you do support them, that's great. That's good for you. I do not. I think that you know, it is what it is. It is. If you know, you know. If you don't, do your research on your own. I'm not going to be the one to tell you. Ethan says, what are your thoughts on all the ships anchored off the coast of Florida? It's great that you asked that, Ethan. So I actually have a live look for you right now. Live look here at Marine Traffic. So this is the app that I've used many times. We'll refresh. It's asking if we're still there. So we'll refresh here so we can see where all the ships are at. So this is a current live look right now off the coast of Florida. Let me filter it here for you. We will filter by, let's see, where's the filter? There it is. We'll filter it just by cruise ships. So all of these colors, once again, are ships. We will filter specifically by passenger ship. Okay. All right. So now all of these dots are cruise ships. So check that out. So here's Florida. And here's the Bahamas, as you see the Bahamas right there. And all of these things are cruise ships. All the blue dots are cruise ships. So there we have the Celebrity Silhouette, Caribbean Princess. Look at all these ships. Look at all of them. Here we're pulling into Miami. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. All of those here anchored off the coast of Miami. We got the Carnival Fascination right there. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff, for sure. So a cool look there. I think that, I also saw that news. I think this is probably what you're referencing. I saw the news come out where, they were, where they were, I think it was the U.S. government was suggesting that, cruise lines go to their home where they're registered. If they need help from the U.S. Coast Guard or anything like that, they go to their home ports first. And you know what? I kind of have to agree. It's kind of like with the, should we support the cruise lines with the stimulus package and everything? I personally don't think that we should. I think that their home country should. They're not registered in the U.S. They're not paying U.S. taxes. So why are our U.S. tax dollars going to help them right now? They don't pay U.S. taxes, I think that their home country, where they pay taxes on, should help them. I do think that they should get some relief, but not from the U.S. So, it is what it is. It's a tough situation, but it's kind of, it's the price that they pay for registering their ships in foreign ports. And I get it. They do it so that they can, avoid employment laws. And I mean, it's shady business, but it is what it is. All the cruise lines do it. There's not one cruise line that stands out with this. They all do it. So it's kind of I know that they probably weren't planning for a situation like this, but it's how it's the situation they've been given. Ian O'Reilly says, no, don't support. I completely agree. If you don't contribute, you're entitled to nothing. Yeah. Laura says, I agree. Don't pay U.S. taxes. No bailout from us. It sucks. I mean, I love the cruise lines. Of course I do. Look at what I do. And I want them to succeed. But do I think that our U.S. tax dollars should be bailing them out? No, I don't, because they don't pay U.S. taxes. No. You guys don't pay U.S. taxes so that you can avoid U.S. tax laws, but now you want the U.S. to help you out just because you carry U.S. passengers? No, I don't think so. That's not how this works. Sorry. Easy Production says, Disney Wonder, best cruise, smaller ship, and not too crowded. Also, the Fantasy is great, too, because of the 7-day itineraries. Really, they are all unique in sharing the magic. I've never been on a Disney cruise, but I would love to. I would absolutely love to check it out, see what they're all about. They really do look like a fun cruise line. Peter, hey, buddy. Extra magic on here. He says they need to use the money that they saved on not paying U.S. taxes to bail themselves out. Preach to them right now, Peter. Preach to them. It's totally true. Yeah, so that one I guess would be the one exception. EC Production says Pride of America is registered in the U.S. and owned by NCL. So I guess that Norwegian would be entitled to a small percentage because the Pride of America, which is the ship that sails Hawaii, for those of you that don't know, it's Norwegian's one cruise ship that sails exclusively Hawaii. It is registered in the U.S. It does pay U.S. taxes. So that's why it's also so expensive to go on that ship in terms of port fees and taxes. Oftentimes, the port fees and taxes are almost as expensive, if not more expensive, than the cruise. But yeah, I guess maybe they're entitled to a little bit. Chuck says, I haven't heard of any cruise lines asking for a bailout. I haven't either. I think it was just brought up as a question, when we were talking about the transportation, and people asked the question, what about cruise lines? But I haven't either, because I think the cruise lines already know the answer to it, They already know that that's not going to happen. So, Tate, another $2 super chat, says, my parents were on a Norwegian ship that blew up. That's interesting. What Norwegian ship was that? I guess you're meaning the engine blew up? I don't know. I mean, it's happened before. It's happened to a number of cruise ships. They have engine problems. I mean, you think just like your car has engine problems. These cruise ships over time, they have engine problems. They have maintenance that needs to be done on them. So I'm not surprised. It is what it is. I'm sure they got it fixed. And well, actually, I know they got it fixed and your parents made it back home because nobody's sailing right now. Debbie says, if you need something to do, binge watch Josh's Carnival Sunrise series. I loved it. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. That is so nice of you. Thank you for that. It was a great series. It was a lot of fun to edit, a lot of fun to experience. Me and Peter actually last night we're going back. We were watching the San Juan video from the Carnival Horizon series, where we went to the El Yunque Forest, the rainfall. Oh my gosh, it was such a fun day there. It was such a fun day. So we were re-watching that one last night, and we came up with the idea. I think we're gonna do a watch party with you guys. I want to do a watch party of one of the series one day. Would you guys like that? Would you? Because I've never like done a reaction, like going back and watching the series and kind of maybe telling you guys a little bit of stuff that happened that didn't make the CruiSe series, or how we got to a certain series. Would you guys want to watch that? Would you want to see that? Let me know. It's just an idea that I had. I have to figure out how to do it so that I can pause with you. It was just an idea that I had with you guys to do one day. Just something to pass the time and hang out with you guys a little bit more. And I know everybody's at home right now and looking for stuff to do. Oh, you guys are saying yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good deal. Oh, he says the NCL SS Norway. Wow, that was a long time ago then. Boiler room explosion in Miami. I'll have to look that one up. I didn't hear about that. I have to look that one up. Cody says, watch party of the first group cruise. Okay, all right, I'm down. Yeah, no, I think that would be a good one. That would be a good series to go back and watch. Christine says, you should redo the first group cruise on the horizon. Yeah, I think that would have to be the one that we would start with. So maybe, if I can figure it out, we'll do that Friday. Would you guys be down to do that Friday? We could do a watch party on Friday. How would that sound? Auntie Josie says, at work yesterday, I watched Josh's New York City Christmas series. I was rocking around the Christmas tree. That's a good series, too. I went back and watched that one a couple times. I have. It's a good series. That was fun. Was it 48 hours or 72 hours? I don't know. It was Friday. Was it Friday night? Yeah, it was Friday night to Sunday night. So we got there Friday night. We were there all day Saturday. We were in New York City, but on the Norwegian breakaway on Sunday, and then we flew home Sunday night. That was a great series. It was a great series. Ethan says, watch party of the Carnival Sunrise series. We can make it like a weekly thing until this thing is over. You know, we could do the Breeze series on Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry, on this Friday, and then next Friday we could do the Sunrise or something like that. What does Daniel say? Daniel says, or a watch party of the Seaside to promote 3.0. You know what, Daniel? Actually, it's funny that you say that, because the Seaside series is probably one of my favorite series that I've ever done. I really enjoy going back and watching the Seaside series. I don't know why. Like, I didn't do anything super special with the editing. I mean, it's kind of my signature style of editing. I didn't jump out too far with that, but I don't know. I just really enjoy the Seaside series. I do go back and watch videos from that series all the time. I really enjoy that series. Catherine says, is that the series where Mama H kissed the cement? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The New York City series is where Mama H kissed the cement in New York City. That was a scary time. That was a scary moment, for sure. Wait a minute. Or was that the Vista? Oh, shoot. I forgot that I've been in New York twice. Maybe it was the Vista. I don't know now. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch and find out. Brad Jackson, $5 super chat. Thanks so much, buddy. I don't have Anchor this week. I keep forgetting Anchor. He says, you think port cities should get more help than inland cities because of the huge monetary hit? Look at the money Miami has lost from cancellations. I totally agree. Look at the money that they've lost from cancellations. Look at the money they've lost from hotels. Look at the money that they've lost from airlines. It would be very interesting to... I'm a data guy. I love to see numbers, so I would be very interested to see the numbers of that and see how they're doing with that. Oh, you guys love the Seaside series. That's so good. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Huh. Aunt Josie says, hopefully we don't get to the Christmas series. LOL. Hope to be back cruising by Christmas. I am so serious. If we're not cruising by Christmas, I'm gonna go insane. I would really like. I would be like the beard and it'd be bad. It would be very bad. Very, very bad. Daniel says, your Seaside series convinced me to book. We had the last sailing before CV-19 locked it down. We've booked before. We even finished your vlog. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you liked it. Lauren says, the Seaside series is my favorite. I watch it all the time, and now I have to watch it even more to hype myself up for my 2-week cruise. LOL. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. No, it's a good series. It's a very good series. I really enjoyed it. Mark and Nicole Cruise Too Much says, I want to watch party for your first videos. Oh my gosh, those were some interesting videos. Maybe. I'm thinking, okay, so I got to figure out how to do the watch party. I got to figure out how we can do it so I can stream it with you guys, but still pause it, right? Because OBS won't let me pause. So that'll be my mission this week, is figure that out, and we'll plan for Friday for a watch party, okay? All right, family. I am going to go eat some lunch, guys. Thank you so much for chatting today and hanging out with us. Special thanks to our moderators. I saw Cody was in here. I saw Peter was in here. I didn't see if Robbie or anybody else was in here. But special thank you to them. Thanks so much for chatting today, guys. And we will see you Wednesday night for Cruise Talk Live, 9 p.m. Eastern special time. Other than that, my name is Josh. It's been real. It's been fun. And it's been real fun. We'll see you real soon. Hopefully on the high seas. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day. See ya. Be free.